All right, welcome to our YouTube today. Happy St. Patrick's Day. So I have my green on today and my little shamrocks. Thank you, Ben. And my technical advisor just exited. How are you doing today, Michelle?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm well. Today I had quite the day. Um, since I heard that music that I sent you,
Yes.
it's like opened up this inspirational kind of flow. I felt the energy like coming through my body, and then it just like lifted this huge block it felt like a block, um, and it just flowed right through. And so yeah, I just had to do some movement today. I had to move with the music, um, remember who I was so long ago, and just let that flow through me. And when I did that, I typed up 3 pages of my book today. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it just kept flowing and flowing. So I was very excited about that. Where I've been I disconnected myself from that, um, because of everything else going on. It was like just too much, I guess. So part of me, yeah, just blocked it out and said, well, that's going to go on the back burner because I have all this other stuff I have to do. Plus, I've been doing my detox. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So today, I shared this on Facebook a while ago. It was a recipe that an older woman put on like 50s and 60s. And they found old footage of it. And it was for EMF, the radiation therapy. And it
Uh-huh.
was the 4 cups, which is like a liter or so, of distilled water, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Mix that up, and then every 2 hours, you would down like a cup, and wow, you could really feel a difference. And I'm not gonna do this every day, but um, I figured like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and it
Right.
really cleared up like a fog around my head as well. So not only was I moving and to the music and just being in the moment and the flow, but I also um, did that radiation detox, and it was very, very powerful. Also, I'm doing my little spray detox with zeolite. Um, I know that the boys and I are doing that, 4 times a day. No, 3 times a day, 4 times squirts, 4 squirts a day. Um,
Okay.
4 squirts each. I can't talk today, but yeah, I've noticed a difference with that. And we talked about the other day, just not eating.
Yeah.
and,
I have
ju-
not been able to eat.
and just no appetite. Just
But
I
when I do eat, my stomach knots right up.
Yeah, I have to have like a shake, and if that even bothers me sometimes afterwards, where sometimes I can only have half a shake, and sometimes it's just once a day, sometimes it's twice a day. Like today, um, I've had it once so far. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
With this energy coming in, who knows? So, what are you
Right.
feeling?
Oh, well, I had a spurt of creativity during the middle of the night.
Love it.
I don't know if I was dreaming or if I was awake, but I thought about the things we were talking about what we're planning to do,
Uh-huh.
and my spurt of creativity was that more than anything else, we need to express and convey who and what we really are, because
Yes.
that message has been so distorted.
Very much so. Very much so. Yes.
And I had found a something that I had found online a while back that really resonated with me, and I wanted to read it.
Oh, great.
So it says, read this slowly. So, in other words, slow enough to comprehend what it's trying to say.
Okay.
God is consciousness, not a creator. God is the source of creation itself. It, rather than he or she, is not independent of you. It is the totality of everything. You can think of yourself as God so long as you recognize that you are not talking about your personal self. The expression of the God self rests inside of you as you are a fractal of source, produced of, by, and from source consciousness itself. God is a verb, not a noun. Replace God with the quantum field to realize that God is the composer of the universal symphony and the orchestra itself. It is both the conductor and the instruments synchronizing to play the music of existence. If, however, you consider God to be a noun, a person, place, or thing, you succumb to the illusion of separation and limit your conscious awareness. This is what separates the believers, religious, from the knowers, spiritual. Honor your role in the divine symphony by recognizing the all in all that is and walking the path of oneness.
Wow. That was profound.
Very.
Can you send that to me?
I absolutely will.
We can blast it out all over.
That is so needed, especially given all the things we were talking about the other night with, oh, what our beloved Antonio went through
Yes.
and what our beloved Ron is going through.
Yes. Yes.
We
Definitely.
need we need to understand. We need to understand
Yes. Yes.
that the dark has created this illusion for us. And as long as we continue to play in and around and of the illusion, we will be the illusion instead of our creative conscious selves.
Beautiful. Beautiful put. Wow. That was very profound. Thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you for allowing me to share.
Of course. Of course. Anytime. My gosh. I mean, that's what we're here to do. We're here to share things with each other and to, you know, just to be there for each other. I found a little picture. I find these little memes, and it just really sat with my heart today. And it said, when two givers indulge in connection, it's like magic, it's alchemy. I water you, you water me, we never drain each other, we just grow. And that's what we're doing.
Yes. And I feel it every moment now.
Yes, yes, there's waves of where I just cried today because it was so intensely beautiful of just being, um, of looking around at my birds outside to making my tea to um, writing today and dancing. I was dancing in the shower. I had the music going and I'm just moving and moving and just allowing whatever flowed because I was like I was doing things that I used to do back on a mound somewhere and it opened me up and it was like I just felt this energy flow through me and cried with that, cried with writing, um, just just resonance all over the place today. Did some things try to creep in? Yes, yes they did. Did some 3D worldy kind of stuff with money to banking to all that other bills, and you're just like, I see you, and I accept that you're here right now, and I know that
Yeah.
you're showing us what we truly aren't, and with this contrast, I can see that, and so trying to thank it instead of saying, "Oh, you son of a bitch," and yeah, just trying every moment of it, not trying. It's either it makes me think of Yoda, do or do not. Yeah, do or
Yes.
do not. There is no try. When
Right.
I got my son's
A beautiful
Star Wars headset on, and and it is. It's and our beloved Q talks about it all the time. Just being aware at every moment and seeing and knowing. It just
yes.
it just I start to write, and back where I first started writing, it's so different than what I am doing today. I had to lose it 3 times in order to work through that process because I had a lot of so angry and hurt, but that's what transmuted out of me. And then the next time was okay, forgiveness. And then the next time, it just kept progressing the more that I would attempt to write it, and then I would lose it all. And so I knew, all right, this is just a part of your healing. And yeah, you're getting pissed that all these um, tech issues keep happening. You lose it, or the um, jump drive becomes corrupted, or whatever the case may be. And there was always something, right? And
Yep.
it was everything is working for you, even the hiccups, even the bumps in the road. Amazing how we are creating this exactly for us, and how you're another me reflecting me to me, and I'm another you reflecting you to you, and how amazingly designed that is. And he, even though the dark is here, and they're orchestrating a lot of shit, they're orchestrating and they're co-opting, but it's all for our betterment. In the long, it when you look at it in that big picture, it's like if they didn't do that, I wouldn't know to command myself to do what I want to do instead of what they want to do. Just like
Mm-hmm.
in any situation I ever was in, I thought I had no choice. I thought I had no out. And but to see that I created that, to see that I had the power all along to choose to get out, to change myself and my surroundings. It's pretty neat. And I back in the day, I was so angry and so blamed and so the victim, And
Mm-hmm.
now it's thank you, thank you, thank you, because you pushed me out to where I never thought I would be, to
Yep.
how I never thought that I would even think about any of this. Did I have it inside when I was little? Yep. Was it pushed out of me and told me that I was crazy? Yep. So yeah, it's quite the journey that we're all on. It is so simple.
Right. And surely anything that easy can't be for real. because it can't be that easy, but it is.
Right? I know. When we're all in the flow, it does. It just amazingly flows easily. Where oh, like I felt pressure in my chest today, and I was always asking, okay, because I know the energies are out in this world coming in, and when Amanda talks about it, then you know, okay, yeah, she's really feeling it too. Um,
Yeah.
enough for her to come out of her solitary and talk about it. Um, but yeah, I felt like this pressure on my chest, and I felt like almost like these rib extenders just pulling me apart, and the pressure of that. And then when I breathed into it, that's where I felt the whoosh. There was like this insanely blissful love. We can't talk. We can't talk. You can't do anything. I was sitting at a red light. I'm like, okay now, okay. And my, I couldn't. It's like I could barely. I was like, okay, you need to be on robot mode right now. The other part of me, my physical me, get me home because I was just. It was so intense. Um, I said, okay, we got to make it home, everybody. But yeah, I was sitting at a red light after I dropped off Brady, and it was undescribable. And I know I've had those before when we've been with Amanda. Um, I'll just be sitting in my room and I felt this whoosh, or it brings me to tears. Walking out in the forest, the woods behind the school. Um, it happens there at the lake, in the shower. I mean, it doesn't. I'm trying to sustain it more, is what they talk about. How do we sustain that? Where it's constantly that, where we don't feel anything opposite of that. But we're here right now in this, you know, how we feel both and how to feel okay with that, and to be like a gray Jedi, um,
Yeah.
which I found a gray feather yesterday in
Oh,
the
wow.
woods, and we were walking back, and of course the snow was all on the ground, and there, bloop, right in front of me was this gray feather, pure snow all around it, right? Like it just was there. Say, hey. So I picked it up. I said, can I take this? I said, yes. So I took it home. And it meant a balance. It meant, between the dark and the light. You are that, the gray Jedi. You are that, the alchemizer, the one who sees both sides of things anywhere. And to be that gray feather is the message I got from that. So everything is talking to us,
Yep.
to the songs on the radio. Like I said that to you, and I said it to my friend Brenda today too, because she's just in resonance with what we feel.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, amazing person. I'd love for you to meet her someday.
Oh,
Um,
that would be lovely.
and then just beautiful messages from my friend from overseas. Um, beautiful, just beautiful, beautiful moments, and it's all of us reflecting that love back to us, that we are, and just saying, "Hello, this is you. This is how people see you. This is how people feel about you. You might want to feel that way about yourself." But then we get around people who may have trouble with the light, their light and not want to accept it. So it's hard for them to be around our light. Sometimes I go into the store or whatever the case may be. There'll be people, smiling. Oh, I had this beautiful conversation. This second time in a row where the guy that checked me out, he he's very personable and you can see who he is, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't have the knowledge of truly who he is. So yesterday, Brady and I were there, and he remembered from a week ago that it was Brady's birthday,
Oh, wow.
right? He goes, from what I remember, you guys, we were in there, and he goes, and it was your birthday, and he goes, yeah, it was, and I'm just like, he goes, I don't remember 2 plus 2 sometimes because, but I remember stuff like that. I go, well, you're supposed to remember stuff like that. Why? I go, because it's more of a feeling based knowledge. I said, us work, trying to decipher um, figures and facts and such like that. Um, we get bogged down with that because that's not who we really truly are. Um, he goes, yeah, yeah. And I said, and I go, it's okay. It's okay because we feel differently. And I was just talking like it would be me, Brady, and then he goes, yeah, 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 yeah. And so it's just like, he goes, we gotta go. Brady goes, we gotta go back and see him again. And I go, yeah, we need to drop some more seeds on who he is, huh? And it's fun. It's like we're playing with ourselves,
Yeah.
right? Like, all right, I know who you are. You're me. All right, let's see how much you know about yourself. How you know you are. And let me tell you. Let me show you who you are. And that's all I want on these podcasts. Is if one person goes, holy shit, I never thought of myself that way. Or I've never talked to anybody about how I feel. Or,
Yeah.
well, just if we could reach one person, I'd be happier.
Yeah.
And same with that book I'm writing. If I could reach one person, or we talk and doing the things that we want to do and bringing them forward to our healing centers and helping others, um, if we could just help one person.
Yeah.
I know that we helped each other. I know
Yes.
that our kids are benefiting from our metamorphosis. I know I'm a better mother than I was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago. Um, it's just what we can do and what we can just allow. And I know Q and that beautiful Zora and Zaria and Jade and everybody, and Antonio, Ron, just, Sasha, um,
Yep.
and Jason, all these beautiful masculines coming forward, right?
Yep.
Um, it's time for that. We've been holding the line for a while, and I mean I know Sasha's been doing this for decades,
Yes.
but he was kind of like the only one, and now there's more that are joining forces. Talked to a couple of them last week and this week. It's they're popping out. They're popping out. One even wants to do a podcast with us. He wants to join in, and his name is
That's
Brandon, and he's down in Florida. Um, nice, very just a very aware and very connected to source and to energy. Um, it was really a pleasure talking to him. Yeah. So Cheryl was in the audience at one time, right before you popped on. She was there, but she must have had to go to work or something. But it was good to see her face pop on for a moment. We're all going through this massive change, massive change. Um, I know the boys were at each other's throats yesterday, and I had them stop, just stop, and say their commands. And Brady had to leave and walk around the block because he was very angry. And I had Ben work on the commands with me, and it was quite the shift from when Brady left and came back with Ben, especially. And I see how powerful it is not only with my own self, but with my kids. So can't say enough about that.
Right.
And
Become powerful.
it's so simple. It's so simple, but yet you have to feel it. That I mean, yeah, in the beginning, it was a lot of my energy. It was. I was trying to remember what to say, um, when to say it, how to say it, because I can feel my kids like when they start out as very mind energy, and then it shifts into that heart energy. And I noticed that with myself too. Yesterday it was really coming in, and I'm like, oh no, you don't. I know what you're up to, and it's not gonna work. And yeah, I felt the shift, like it instantaneously when I now command my spirit through source energy. It's just like everything just stops to remove anything within me, on me, or around me, or in my mind. I always add that on too. That is not authentic to source now. And you can feel it. The more and more you say it, the more and more you're being driven out of your head. You're like unhooking these little antenna, um, almost like a, I see like wires going into our heads. To sometimes I see the frequencies of the thoughts going by, and our antenna are picking them up. Like that's not my broadcast. um, what do you feel?
Um, I love when I do the commands and I command my spirit through source energy to take the thoughts from my mind and place them into my heart. How quickly the door shuts on the mind energy.
Yeah,
On the now try to think like Q says, now try to think and you can't.
yeah,
And that is a very empowering feeling because people who say, well, I just can't get out of my mind. I can't quiet my mind. I can't. Yes, you can. You have to know one, how to, and two, want to.
right, right. Because that's all we know. That's all we've ever known was mind
Yeah.
energy. So
Because, like Q says, the light does not know the dark. It can't recognize the dark. And so we are brought into these bodies, into this duality as light to learn to recognize the dark.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All my
Then
experiences, yeah, for sure.
and then to bring that light into the dark, like lighting a match in a dark room and illuminate it.
Yeah,
Yes, we have dark in us. Yes, we have all kinds of dark programming and implants and but we are the captain of our ship and we have to learn how to steer our own ship into our own current.
yes, yes. Very well said. It is. It's just, yeah, is not being afraid of that darkness. It's actually sitting there and go, okay, come sit next to me and let's have a little chitty chat chat. Because it's
Right?
you. It's you, and you don't need to be afraid of you. Yes, powerful, powerful. It is. And yes, the ones outside of us, which are us too, just in different consciousness frequencies, um, we we stand up and we're not afraid. So I remember back when I was living at my house and the dark sat on my leg and that was like the coldest experience ever. And I was frozen because I didn't know what to do. That fast forward maybe about oh 15 maybe 15 years now. Well, it was like in the summertime. I felt coldness in my room and it was trying to choke me, right? And it was trying to get me to be still and not move, right? And I was trying to wake up. And me, inside of me, took this, kind of like what you talked about, and ripped its head off and threw it across the room. And then threw it up to be transmuted and dissolved into ether. And I watched myself, third person, like me laying on the bed, the other part of me ripping a head off, and then the other part of me observing it all. Just saying, yeah, why are you afraid? You don't be, there's nothing to be afraid of. Just, you know what to do. And I felt like Shira or whatever, and it just like, rah, I just ripped it to shreds. Ripped it to shreds. And I know he's spoken about that, and I cried when he talked about that because I'm like, yeah, we don't give some darkness time to talk because we know what they're there for. The darkness inside of you, yeah, come sit here and chat because you're me. But that darkness was very nefarious. It was trying to hurt me. And I've had that happen before when I would go into houses and investigate. I remember when I was first started out, I was so scared. So, what are you doing here? Some were beings that were in between and didn't, um, they were just there. Some were, um, had some, they were attached to the wounds that the people had. They were alcoholics, did a lot of drinking and drugs. They're attached to that. Um, see a lot of stuff when you're out there doing it. And I haven't done that in years because the guy that I was doing it with, we just weren't aligned in the process anymore. Because I felt, people needed to take accountability for their for the people hanging out with them.
Yeah.
um, and yeah, it's having people be accountable. Like I had to be accountable for that thing that was in my room.
Yeah.
I know when I was at my house, it was brought in from the bars. It was brought in from clubs and such like that. And it wasn't mine. I know it wasn't mine. Just like the devil dog wasn't mine. Just like that thing wasn't mine. But to know what is yours and what isn't. But to know that they are there to teach you how powerful you are. Like the
Mm-hmm.
ripping it to shreds. It was like, all right, what are you made of? Let's do this. You say that you're this badass warrior, princess, Palladian, Octorian, Andromedan seed mix. Let's do this. All right, show us what you're worth. And that's what it's calling us to do. This is what this whole shenanigans that we're experiencing these last 3 years is about, too. All right,
Yeah.
who's going to stand up for themselves and say, no, I'm not participating? We don't have to be
Yep.
assholes about it, but, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. And it is. We know what's coming. And we know that, they're going to push everything at us, just like the darkness that we've encountered already.
Yep.
There's just more of it, and it has to come out in order to be transmuted. And it's just this really dark, heavy shit that's going to happen this month, for sure. We're already seeing it. So, um, what are we going to do about it? They're poisoning us left and right. What do we do about it? Well, we seek out ways to neutralize it, whether it be through herbs, detoxing your heavy metals. So, because that's what they're writing on us, poisons, heavy metals. Um, to find these research, and to have, the baking soda, simplistic, the iodine, simplistic, distilled
Yeah.
water.
You want to make sure you've got good baking soda and not the kind
Yes,
that's
not the Arm and
bad.
Hammer. No. So it has to be. I got organic, and
Yep.
I do have to get some more because I used a lot of it up in baths too, and that's another way. The baths. That's what I want to do tonight is really take a nice detox bath. The
Can I
zeolite, the
that you said you're using?
pardon?
Can I get you to send me that recipe that
Yes,
you're using?
yes, and I know
That
there's pardon.
the drink one.
Okay, yeah, yeah. It's just 1 liter of distilled water,
Okay.
a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of baking soda, both
Okay.
sea salt organic, baking soda
Yep.
organic, and then I got, of course, the distilled water from my beloved Wegmans, which it seems like that's the only place I could go shopping now. They have the more sort of organic, but I was upset because we walked in there yesterday and we saw celery, non-organic and organic, sitting there touching each other.
Oh, yay.
And I'm just like, are you serious with this? So I think that's gonna be my next order of business, is saying, I understand that you're trying to make it look like, oh, here's all the celery, but you're putting poison next to non-poison or less poisoned. um,
Right.
this is not a wise choice. So I might have to write Mr. Danny Wegmans and say, hey, I see that you're doing this with your store. And yeah, it was like, the organic peppers next to the non-organic peppers. I'm like, you might as well just sit them and mix them all together. Because the gas is coming off of the frequency coming off that pepper is different from the frequency of the other pepper sitting there. You know what happens then with that?
Right.
I know that they spray them. They have to let them sit for a while to have the off gassing go into the atmosphere, or you'll really smell it. Crazy shit.
Well, Q also said we could enter charge and or um
True.
discharge
True. Our
with our,
energy. Yeah, our energy. Our energy is
so we
very
need to
powerful.
remember to do that with all of our food, regardless
Oh,
of
right.
where it's
Yeah.
got from.
Yeah. Because I saw that. I was very upset about it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, just gonna have to take things into our own hands. I know I doctor up my water during the day. I put my little hydrogen peroxide in it and my drop of iodine. So I know I'll get my iodine. And especially with our little Ohio incident and all the other
Oh,
incidents around us lately, um, more disrailments, and they something about Coca Cola is having some kind of ammonia. Like, oh, that's yummy. Um, just all these places are being exposed.
yep,
You know, whether it be you know the transportation or the brand itself, everything's being exposed, and and even as simple as the grocery store, you see just the level of non-awareness. You know, just well, yeah, it just says organic. I don't understand why. What's the difference between this and this, and non-organic? Um, was at Brady's birthday dinner the other night. Had a nice, lively conversation with my um, with their other side of the family, and of organic and non-organic. Just totally falling on deaf ears. Totally full, just deaf ears. But with one of the family members, I was able to have a talk about um, transhumanism and transgender. Because one of the other family members in California is actually expressing this, and so she knew that she could talk to me about this stuff. Um, so that was kind of cool. Um, there's once in a while I'll see the little glimmer of um, I'll be able to talk to her about things. It is. It's a good thing. Um, I guess
very,
the boys and I are
very hard
rubbing off.
to talk to them
Pardon?
when I said it's very hard to talk to them when they're so rooted in that and they want you to. The conversation yesterday was, well, this is your moment to teach. No, I've been trying to teach you, and if you're not going to hear it, then you're not going to hear it now. So there's really no need to teach.
Yeah, yeah. Don't know when to teach. Know when it's a teaching moment. Um, and I knew with some of the family members, kind of like what I was getting into, because I was going to be met with just a big, huge wall. But it was more so that another family member could hear it and just drop a seed. Because we were talking about medicinal teas yesterday. And I said, well, you know that throat tea that you give to another family member, well, that helps greatly. I go, there's so much out there to help with that. Um, we're talking about, one of the family members is recovering from alcoholism, and uh, she was talking about how he's drinking so much lemonade and sweet tea and all this stuff. Well, yeah, you have to replace the sugar and the alcohol with some sugary outside of that. And I said, sometimes you just have to detox from that. And I go, it's very hard, but there's herbs and teas that he can take. So just drop, 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 and just left it at that. Um, but yeah, proud of him for not, because he's been doing this. God, how old is he now? 70 some years. He's 72, so he's been doing it for at least the majority of his life. I remember his one time he did say to Brady, he said, promised me, Brady, that you'll never start drinking until you're, I think it was over 50 or something like that, because he saw what he was doing to himself, and now he's speaking of going to Canada for one last time with my mom and tribe, and it's all these adults are starting to have these major health problems, and they had the intervention as well. So of course it exaggerates anything that you do have. So yeah, they're coming to terms with what's going on with their bodies, and they're trying to look to medical science, and it's just not helping.
Yeah. We don't know what's wrong with you is the famous last words of the doctors all the time.
Yeah,
We don't know what's wrong with you. We don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. We don't know, right? It's weird. It's weird, but it is. And you're experiencing that as well as the in between the two worlds of where we are, where they are. It's we're seeing everything falling, and they're seeing perhaps it in a different way too, where they're scared and they're just reaching out like nothing can help me. I remember being there where I tried everything under the sun
Yeah.
to feel better, and nothing was working that they were giving me, and I lost all trust in that. I lost all
Yep.
trust in that, not only through my experience but through my kids as well. What happened to Ben? What happened to Brady? Both different but very profound, and I'm repairing it now. I have to, I'm repairing the damage that was done. Um, but with spirit, with energy, with EE systems, with herbs and beautiful detoxes and such, we're able to shift that all around. And I know healing going forward is, of course, we know it's going to be so far different than it is now. From
Yes.
the EE system that's out now, which I can't wait later this spring to go to. We gotta go find one. We don't have one by us, so 2 hours. I think that is for you too, right? 2 hours away as well.
There's a few I want them closer.
Yeah, I want mine in my house. Just to sit in that God code all day long. Oh my gosh, would that be amazing? Um, and what they just did for over in India,
Yes.
providing that for just everybody. And it will be free. It will be eventually. It will be free for everybody. Right now, um, for the cost of it, they have to charge in order to make back what they spend. But eventually, it will be free, and it will be, um, the energy healing to the music frequency to David Sarita and his beautiful the frequency maestro. Um, everything is that frequency. Did I ever tell you that I think it was on Facebook. It was where you clip a little receiver on like a branch or a flower, and it played such beautiful frequencies. Like it goes right out to the speaker that can actually read the frequencies from a certain plant or tree. Um, amazing, amazing frequencies coming. I have to find that again. It was you could feel it. Just like when we're in the woods, we can feel the trees, we can feel the plants, we can feel like the birds with their frequency sounds. This is where we're heading. It is so exciting. The enrichment centers that we want to have to show others what is out there that's been hidden. I'm so excited about what's to come because it's
Yes.
right there. We can touch it. It's right there. It's so right there. Just the simplistics of even I have in my hand one of those organites, right? With and it has the different metals in it and the crystals. And it has a little copper spiral going up with a crystal in the middle. Um, Simplistic things like this, even that people don't even realize just the power of that alone. Because I know that's what I turned to first. I turned towards um, crystal, a pendulum. I turned cards. You know, I had the oracle cards. You know, my because I didn't trust myself, but I know that myself was talking through these instruments because it was me. But I made, I did all the to make sure it was me. Like I wanted to align it with my higher self compared to, but I could feel when I did have some interference because my pendulum would swing differently. It would, or it would be like I could feel it being bumped into a direction, like whoa, from other souls that were hanging out with me at the time. Um, that's why on this journey, yeah, you do have to be mindful and feel all around you, um, and learning how to trust yourself compared to trusting anything outside of you. Because like I told you, I repurposed my pendulum stone for my little crown that I wear every night. Because I charge it during the day and wear it at night, and I can feel the buzzing, and I can feel it's like very warm. What does yours feel like?
Oh, I feel the buzzing. Oh, I feel the buzzing. The beautiful Zora said we should be wearing them all the time,
Yes,
even when we go out into public.
right, right. I don't go to many places. So, hey, shopping at the grocery store. Do, 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 do. Um, yeah, it is. It's, I know eventually we'll probably all wear them anyway. Um, just like, a lot of people won't be out here talking, that, well, we can't go out there and talk about this stuff. Like their safe spot is, um, like Facebook maybe, and they just write a post or whatever the case may be, which I was there too. But then something just kicked me in the overdrive and said, you need to do this. And I don't know. I don't know. I just followed, okay. Um, I'm glad that you also heard that and assisted that. For us to be seen also and heard, try to work on that as well. So,
Yep, wearing it out in public and having people look at you like, well, you have a tinfoil hat on. Yes,
yes,
I do.
yes. Did you see my post about the queen? About the
Now, some mark.
queens of the tinfoil. Yes, we are. Conspiracy theories coming true. Yes, indeedy. Um, there's more and more people. We can feel it. You can see it, especially on Facebook. Other people are posting stuff and saying stuff. I'm like, yes, it has begun. The Great Awakening is now moved out to more people, and you can really feel that. You can see that. But little Ben is coming up to tell me that it's been over an hour,
Okay.
and that so we should probably get going. I know that I have
All
to go
right.
pick up Brady in a little bit, and I know that he wanted to do something with us perhaps on Sunday because he really likes sitting
Okay.
there and talking. Um,
Wonderful.
be getting him talking because he's also going to be part of what we're doing.
Sure.
And I know Ben's like, no, 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 no. You'll do it in a different way. That's all. So I thank you for coming on here today with me, and we'll see if it works this time.
All
Um,
right.
very exciting stuff. And yeah, we'll talk later.
All right.
All right, love you.
I love you both. And thanks to our tech support. We couldn't have
Thanks
done it
to our
without.
tech support. Exactly. He helped us through every little step of this. So thank
Yes.
you and love you all. Thank you and have a beautiful day. All
You
right.
too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.